Hello, greetings, more contemplations, compulsions to share my story and my doubts, my thoughts about religion, still hanging on, still shocked. So with the shocked sight, how can I see the truth? Although once I did, and now with the help of Muji Baba, when he had come, I found him on YouTube, or Facebook. I was like very fascinated at that time, and it went with my religion to direct with God, pure awareness, and what I had found in Karachi myself, putting my thoughts aside, figuring out as I came. I've already said that. So now this time in this video, I want to talk about again some of the things, shocking things, like about randomly religion, again my Shia Islam. I don't, like Shias have been killed in Pakistan so much, but unfortunately I have to talk about the Shias. Although to me it made sense that Shia Islam is the true school of thought, the most true in Islam. But the thing is now, it's changing. So harsh methods applied even our Shia Islam, like the manners, dignity, and all this, right? Morals, very high standards. And I didn't fight with that. I thought that's how it should be. And that we had some hypocrites, and so maybe in my DNA, I wanted to be a good person, but it was quite a struggle. Then came all the traumatizing madness, energy that I felt was distance mind control. So I have been through all this, and I'm traumatized. Until this day, I haven't come out of it. There was some covert narcissists, there was gaslighting, very close to me people doing this to my mother and me. So, and it went to such heights, metaphysical, on the metaphysical level, psychological after, going through psychological disorders, then metaphysical. Metaphysically, it got me spiritually, and wouldn't allow me to meditate. I tried my best to become a good Shia Muslim, sincerely follow my religion. When I came back from London, my law studies, LLB honors. So thinking again, like I haven't found the religion or the way of life that I would like to live. Another thing that I might forget, let me just mention this, is that I should talk about, coming out of this religion, the spiritual part really I will miss a lot, because scientifically, I feel, yes, the proof, like I mentioned in the previous video of mine, one of the previous videos, that scientifically, medical and all this, but psychiatric doesn't make sense to me. The medicine, however, the other ones do. So I felt that when I loved a teacher and they wanted me to be detached from her, that's what I was told by my teacher, and that's what I felt, that it's unhealthy, meaning that, it's too much attachment to this teacher. And then I was working on obsession, or, this, obsession or too much attachment. In psychology, getting help from my therapist. To my shock, I thought the people were spreading just mischievous false rumors, until the enemy very close to me had put it in the air that between her and her teacher, who was 40 plus decades older to me. And why would I go after a 40 plus old teacher when I had friends who were beautiful and all? So I could have gone for them. Why mess up my life? Why even, against a teacher, do this kind of a thing? So, I'm a Husseini. I was Shia. And how would I go to majlises and face Imam Hussein? So, the thing is that many confusing things. So now we need a soulful. I needed so I was attracted to spiritual things like the Western ways, European. Now we have Bert Harding, and there's Grace Bubeck. There's so many. They've come, they're sharing on social media with us, supporting us, telling us. So this is what I miss. I'm a spiritual person, and I believe so much in God's help, miracles, and when they tell me their stories and that they overcame the setbacks in their life. Now I'm really shocked because I gave my all, and I'm still in this madness. And then the harsh methods, like our Quran, coming back to my religion, Prophet Muhammad, we are told in the Quran ayat, is very merciful towards the believers. Very harsh towards the disbelievers. So that's how some of us, even with our Muslims, have become. We haven't even reached that believer state. Like the Quran says, don't even call yourselves. Just call yourselves Muslims because faith has not entered your heart, or something like this. So believers are on a very high stage. Sufis, like these Gnostics and all. So, but we thought nothing is higher than the sacrifice of Imam Hussein. Then Imam Hussein. Then after that, perhaps I meditated about dervishes, because they are from Imam Hussein. So softness, gentle ways. And then I saw some Muslims being very harsh. And there are some very dangerous verses. And the practices, honor killing in Pakistan, living in Pakistan most of my life, robbery and all this. But in Saudi Arabia, of course, they practice the real Islam, cut off their hands. So then there's no robbery there or, stealing things. But in Pakistan, there was a lot. So mobile snatching, all the crimes that you can think of. And these Muslims were doing it. So, Rasulullah, where are you? Here in Pakistan, and for the believers, he's very merciful. So, you can debate about this, that very few are truly religious, and they are completely sincere. So we also at times, we need an environment like Madinah. Rasulullah would want to give us, when it's been 1400 years now. So we keep arguing like this, that Satan has with its glory, with God's glory, with his glory. So he's given some people this and some people, what they need. Even spirituality. We say that is not religious, can come from Satan, like fortune telling. So we have to be chosen, and either we follow the chosen ones of God, or so even with the spirituality, very dangerous. So we can say all this idol worshipping, spirituality that doesn't come from Islam or the Prophet, what the Prophet tells us to do, or the guide, Imam. So this is the Shia perspective. Then we shouldn't follow that. We should remain with our Imam. And so I prayed to God and my mother. I lost my mother. She passed away. It was very tragic, very shocking. And at least we used to go to London and Europe, but mostly London. So seeing the Britishers, how they behave, and all this, right? So none of them harass us, and there's law and order there. We can just walk alone and not be harassed. Whereas compare them with the Muslim countries, it's there's no comparison with the Asian Muslim countries, no comparison. And now I wonder if I go to India, I can walk alone, because there have been rape cases in India, and so much corruption in the politically, in politics. So I cannot talk about India right now, because I don't know the whole scenario about the whole reality of India. However, I can talk about my Islam. And I don't want to be those, I can compare. It's not that I'm attacking Christians due to, being I'm a truth seeker. So I'm just talking about my thoughts and trying to find out what truth shall I follow that will set me free, or what truth that touches me that will set me free, or make me compassionate, loving, kindness, instill these brilliant qualities in me that I crave for: humility, humble, and all. And the way I've seen the Muslims, I'm really sorry, like Shia Sunni, when they get into a discussion, I hope they can have a nice discussion. Like, so this is also like some on YouTube and everything. No, Sayyid Ali Sistani would tell us, our marjas would tell us not to argue. Take your Sunni brothers as your own souls. So, yet this killing and sectarian thing went on in Pakistan a lot. And very chilling stuff. So, wondering what would enlighten us or save us. Protection. We also need that spiritual protection. We also need material protection. The spiritual one is quite hard for me to get. I was reading the Divine. I bought the Divine Revelation by Dr. Shamsky, Suzanne Shamsky. So maybe the I am who I am, and saying these prayers like, so be it. And no one should come into my psychic mind, harassing me like Satan. Or they call it, what do they call it, the psych, and all this. So I was doing Suzanne. I also did Dr. Suzanne Chomsky's prayers, like I am who I am. And no one has authority over me. Right now I can't remember her prayers word by word. So I think the I am was that very highest name for protection for us. And I feel there are enough fields in our aura or our field, this they've this negative energy coming in and tearing our protection apart. So I had to do those prayers. So that's why Jiddu Krishnamurti, I would then read, be fascinated. Because it did, in a deeper level, resonate with me, like this outer, superficially disciplining ourselves. We've tried those methods, practice. And so the best, Jiddu Krishnamurti's writings were great. But on the how would I help myself? Because there are certain vampires and certain jealousy people, like nowadays they call them the toxic people, to keep away from them. So I would go in my own cocoon or hibernate, sleep over it, and kept sleeping over life. So conflicts and bad things that I used to see in Pakistan, mostly in Pakistan, living there. Beggars and godless country. But still they all pray and they all say Islam and all this. So, another very dangerous thing about the Quran ayats without the Imam's guidance is the verse on when Hazrat Khizr in Surah Kaf with Hazrat Musa, he kills a young boy, kills a boy, a young man or a boy. We are told it's in Arabic, so it in English translation it's just a boy. He feared. They feared that because he says we feared, so it means Allah and him. He has this ilm laduni. I don't know how to describe this ilm laduni, but if you read The Taste of Hidden Things, this book by Sarah Severi, you would know, I think, what is ilm laduni. It's complete knowledge from God, a very futuristic knowledge from God and very high knowledge. Only the godly people get it. So, killing a child because he was a disbeliever. And then when you come to London, you see that these disbelieving children are not harassing you. They don't harass and they don't annoy us. And I think another thing is it's very open over there. Like they're very open with their parents. There's communication and they don't hide much like we do. The Muslims, we are, it's very strict, but sometimes we sneak out and, lie to our parents. We went to a party, but no, we didn't go to a New Year's party. We went to a friend's place, or we went to meet someone we liked, and even on the phone, if we talk to someone we like and we want to marry that person, when it works out, then we can, when we can get married, when we have the means to get married, then we can get married. But until then, we lie to our parents that we're talking, sometimes, on the phone, we're talking to our friend, female friend, and all this. So the guilt or something, but that makes us Muslims kind of not very good people. Not like, I don't know, I just felt there was not this self-righteous behavior in London. And so the Londoners weren't giving me problems. The Britishers, those pure Britishers, it was the Muslims who were giving me problems. So I guess we have to relax our rules. And the honor killing in Pakistan. So, because my child is bad, a parent can just get up one day in madness and say, I'm going to kill this child of mine, because God has said. Hazrat Khizr is no more, but he's still alive, he's ever living. He's the green man ever living. If you have read The Taste of Hidden Things, you would know who Hazrat Khizr is. The helper of all times, Maula Mushkil Kusha. Sarah Saveri knows and has written about it. So we Muslims, I don't know what we are really. It was such a shocking thing for me. And now to see the way Muslims and Christians and having this debate, it is and the worst are the Muslims in debate. We cannot get to accept that Prophet Muhammad was a false prophet. And those, there are some Muslims who don't involve themselves in these debates, on YouTube especially. So they just stay quiet, and I would have stayed quiet also, because I was a quiet person. And if I didn't like something, then just if I can move away from it and ignore it, then I would. But if I can't, then my mood would be off with this person. In this person's presence, I would not be feeling comfortable. And then sometimes, my anger would come out in other things, because the way I was trained by my teacher to tell the truth. So in Pakistan, it was very frustrating. If you make a mistake, at least accept it. So Londoners, Britishers, they've made mistakes, they've made blunders. They accepted it. They accepted their mistake that what they did to India. So we say this is the first step to correcting yourselves. This is the honesty, I feel everything that a Muslim should have been is in the Britishers. However, it's a very permissive society, but that just makes them even more communicative, honest, not righteous and hiding and all this. So maybe that's why living there, no man is going to come and harass me. Like it is in Pakistan, there's no comparison. And so they're very honest about it. If they're sleeping with someone, they will, they just don't want, maybe it is this being godly, being religious, and something which I can't put my thing on it, fingertip on it, the word self-righteousness, or what is it? So I've heard that from the Christians too, like, our people go to the church, they are hypocrites, and so it happens in, I don't agree to that, but that, the too much, it's like something which makes you superficially self-righteous, and then you cannot really understand human frailties, weaknesses. So someone had, some Christian priest had written about this. What was it? Or a Jewish rabbi. Why do bad things happen to good people? Something like this. So he was saying, like, when he was a rabbi, he used to go to funerals and all, and just the way he used to say things. But when he lost his own child or something like this, the story goes, he realized, what he was doing wrong, consoling them in a very superficial manner, like, well, that's how God willed it, all this. So another thing I want to say, yes, back to this, it is very, for the Muslims, now I don't want to go into Jewish communities and people and, nitpick, because I feel the Muslims are going to say, why is she concentrating so much on us? Because I have been a Muslim, Shia, and how much, God knows how much I have struggled to be a good person. And I lost so much in the struggle to be a good person and to save people and to see my loved ones happy, my mother and my principal, and to be respectful at no matter what. So even if they turn their, like, gracefully leave them when they want to leave, keep my heart open and all this. Anyhow, then a lot of bad things. I started to abuse when I was so shocked. Miss Desai instilled, drilled this thing in me, not to even say the word yar, which is a very, like, a close friend, and not to even say that word, shit, right? And recently in my madness, I start abusing like anything. And in Karachi, when they told me that Bibi Fatma Zahra's disciple has come through a distance, like energy, and they would move my finger. Yes, no, this, that, like. So the thing is that, this religion, the harsh ways, we thought they were from God. Like Rasulullah would know who the hypocrites are, keep them close to him, tell the names of the hypocrites. Imam Ali, to Imam Ali, give the names of the hypocrites. So, although we were not allowed to, like right now, the way I'm going, like if we hide someone's something, sin, God will hide 10 times, 100 times our sins and all this, right? We were not to stand there and humiliate another person and say, you are a liar. This is not in our religion. I was told. Good manners, enduring the enemy. And like Jesus Christ said, but in other words, enduring the enemy. Like Imam Sajjad endured the enemy. And loving is like, we don't say it as like Jesus Christ succinctly put it, love your enemies. But if a guest comes and you know this guest is an enemy, you're supposed to never ever humiliate this enemy or insult this enemy or taunt this enemy, or I will get back at her when she comes to my house. Like that, we're not allowed at all to do these things. So good-naturedness instilled in us through these teachings. But it always deprived from me the grace of God. By the grace of God, a little bit good that I had was taken away from me in this madness in year 2000. I was in Karachi. So, okay, my personal thing over, and then back to Hazrat Khizr and killing of that boy. So we feared that this boy would be rebellious and he's a disbeliever, so he will distress his believing parents. My goodness. And another ayat is very dangerous for the children. When Hazrat Nuh, or for even the son, adult, like God tells Hazrat Khidr, he is not of you, all your family. So he's not your son. He's not even of your family. Like he's disowned. Don't grieve for him. The storm came, he betook himself to the mountain, on the mountain, and Hazrat Nuh was in the ship he made, guided by God, the Ark of Noah, as they say. So anyone can say that my son is a disbeliever, is going to give me distress. They can, the psychological problems that people go through, even parents. And in this religion, in Islam, very, very harsh methods can be applied, right? And caning, or what is it called? Oh my God, I keep saying caning, not even whipping, but that thing of, what do you call striping, or what's the word? For fornication, the punishment. For adultery, the punishment. And in front of people. So, and cutting off hands. So Jesus Christ has said, if okay, now the attack, I'm going to attack you Christians, because then my Muslims will say, well, Jesus Christ also said this. But he put the responsibility on the person. If your right eye sins, take it out. If your right hand sins, cut it off. And also, so these Abrahamic religions have these kind of punishments. And then I'm told that even in Hinduism, so someone's hands were cut because they added something to their holy scriptures. So where's that loving kindness? So we were missing something which, so being in this religion, so I too, there was a crisis in my life, the first hell that I went through. Then I got out of this a little bit later on, much later, and went to Western books for help, and because my prayers were not working. The more I said my prayers, the worse it was getting, or it was just the same. But the years were making it worse. So I had to seek something else. And then these books, Western books came. And I could read them and get help. So they're very nice. They're, in a way, I do criticize them in the sense that everything positive and just give your wish out and it will take place, and all this we can do in prayer too. But this every day saying that I love myself and I will do this, and I'm doing this, and I'm away from every bad thing, and, or I'm in all good. I'm in all good. God is all encompassing good. God is all encompassing good. And it wasn't helping. And too much positive thinking, too much positivity, and then I would get a slap and, oh, where did this come from? So this is positive. So please tell me that this is also positive when you hurt and when someone hurts you, that evil does exist, or that we see this kind of a slap. So say thank you to your enemy. But then I would go back to my religion and say, no, these people are wrong. Why should I say thank you to my enemy? Right? No, they are your best teachers. Your enemy is your best teacher. Then we say, no. We want compassion. We want politeness. We want good, warm-hearted, kind, loving people. Then we say, if an enemy comes and slaps you, that is your friend, your best friend, who has say thank you. So all these contradictions in us. And then I thought, no, here I think my religion is right. That how do you judge? This is evil and this is good. So this is compassion and this is not compassion. This is cruel. So how do you judge? If someone comes and becomes cruel with you, are you going to condone it? I say, no, thank you for being cruel with me. You just, I learned a lesson from you, but that's just to, pacify us, I think. So nothing was that deep to really, only my religion, this part, I could understand. And I was sleeping on some of those verses I've shown you for 30 more years, 30 so years. What we've missed. Prostitution allowed. And how the verses, now I can see them. So I think and there's and where's Rasulullah with his loving kindness to the believers? Like we are told that one tear for Imam Hussain, if we do this azadari for Imam Hussain. So even then we say, oh God, please forgive us. We have not done justice. And on the other hand, we say that our hearts know how we loved Imam Hussain. But then I was telling my father that if we really love Imam Hussain now, why can't we just be Imam Hussain? So we can't do what Imam Hussain did. And so no, very few people can do that. Not even our ulamas have done what Imam Hussain has done. What Bibi Zainab has done, and what Bibi Sakina has done. Imam Hussein's 3-year-old daughter. So this is, I think it's gone too far. I've talked a lot, but no solution yet. So the Muslims were, I saw bigotry, dogmatic, very harsh. Especially that, he kind of gives me the chills. When I see these Muslims debating Dr. David Wood and apostate prophet and Nadir Ahmed, he's kind of a peeler, skin peeler. He's really, he gets it to the nervous system, and my nervous system was kind of going haywire, listening to him in a debate with apostate prophet. Like it goes like haywire. So that's why if you see that debate with Nadir, it got to Aaron, and he said, look, I have to say this, you are putting words in our mouth and all this. I did not say it like that. So even Aaron Ra, he got to. I feel like this bigotry, and we don't want to accept that science is here about the embryology, and Islam is down there somewhere, very, very low. Missed it, completely. Error. Why can't, go to, if you really believe in then say Allah and Allah will heal you here. If you have some problems in your testicles, men, and you Muslim men who support this, that the sperm comes from the backbone and the ribs, then don't go, when you have a disease, don't go to the medical doctor. Say, oh doctor, you're wrong, my disease is here. The problem is in my spinal cord, or between my spinal cord and my ribs. It will serve them right, once they get a disease there. So, how they, it's like, it's a security, it's like a, it's like a thrill for them. So, Prophet Muhammad should have taken you to Mi'raj, right? You Muslims to my Mi'raj. See what happens there, hanging in hell, when he saw women are being hanged upside down or hung upside down. The breasts are, ropes. Oh my God, torture scenes. So, yeah, why not? And who are these women who go out showing their, what do they do? Adultery, fornication? And then you can do the same to those poor slave girls? You can prostitute them. Surah Nur, ayat 33. And now I'm losing it with this. Sorry, excuse me, I have this bad habit. So Prophet Muhammad so these slave girls who are coerced into prostitution, the men will be forgiven, those who do it to them. The Muslim believing men who prostitute these slave girls. But no, wait. The Quran, Imam has said that no, because namaz, maybe there was a mistake in this Quran. Imam Mahdi, wait for Imam Mahdi to come. And Surah Ahzab, I can tell you that Prophet Muhammad did not lust for Zainab bin Josh. He actually feared the people. God is telling him not to fear the people. No. God is not telling him, do not fear the people. God is saying, you feared the people. Maybe Imam Mahdi will come with this ayat like this, that Prophet Muhammad, you concealed in your heart. Okay, we told you about it. A divorce is supposed to take place. Zainab bin Josh, wait a minute, no. What I'll do is, first let me complete this, right? Imam Mahdi is going to come and say, but you should not have feared the people. Do not fear the people with whom you made a witness about this adopted son. Where is that other verse which I can bring about? Yes, you can dissolve oaths. Surah Tahrim. So, I'm afraid I have to say this. Shias, you have been lying to us. Shia Alims, where is Imam Mahdi? I've opened my mouth. You have lied to us. So, you didn't see this? Or did Shaitan, Sayyid Shias, religious, where is, so I won't be, my religious scholars, I heard that, I will not take his name now, I will call out to him on Facebook when I'm able to, maybe. I don't want to humiliate or trouble someone, even my Sayyids, but I'm afraid I've come out with this. I mean, for how long will I be afraid and contemplating and reflecting? So, look, he can absolve his oath in Surah Tahrim. Oh my God. So the same way, do not be afraid. You made an oath. First he made an oath. So it would have been better if you... What? Hello? Surah Najm. We were told Prophet Muhammad is such a perfect man, perfect example. He has such lofty morals and also mercy. He would be like, wouldn't he be like Buddha? He would even save Yazid. But no, with the hypocrites be very hard. And I'm thinking, Imam Hussein didn't save Yazid. So there it was you know, what, but no, our Shias look at the Quranic ayats and the hadiths and all this, so you can absolve. Prophet Muhammad can absolve his oath. What? So again, he made a mistake, right? Unintentionally to please his wives. So please tell us he made a mistake here. What we are we concentrating on Yazid and Hussein too much? No, that was our ABCD, the Quran ayats. And Hussein is Hussein. And his grandfather's Hussein is Hussein because of his grandfather. So if his grandfather was going to absolve his oath, then in Surah Azab. So you see, if once this was written, only once, that he did something to please the people, or he was afraid of the people, once an ayat, only once, then we can say here it is a mistake, the Quran, we don't have the right Quran, Imam Mahdi should bring the right Quran. When he comes, we are supposed to wait for him. And we're not supposed to fight, we're not supposed to. So we can be killed by Sunnis, but we're not supposed to until Imam Mahdi. We are martyrs. This is like a suicide. And for whom? For that Hussein? We don't even find that Hussein in Prophet Muhammad, his grandfather, because he absolves oaths. God tells him, absolve your oath. Why do you seek to please your wives when you should be pleasing whom? Allah. And you can absolve your oath now. Oh, okay. I will absolve. What is? Oh my God. So then come to Surah Azab. And so Shias wake up, because this religion seems to be like a cult. I'm waking up my Shia part too. So, very shocking. Okay, I'll come back later. Maybe Imam Mahdi will come and say, no, in Surah Tahrim I will tell you why Prophet, it is written in a wrong manner. The enemies of God are enemies, Ahlul Bayt's enemies, Prophet Muhammad's enemies got to the Quran. And this whole Quran is in one Imam. Who? Which Imam? Who is the true Imam? The true Imam is the Ismaili Imam. No, he's the Bori Dai. He's the Zaidi one in Yaman, the ones following in Yaman, following Imam's head. So, anyways, we'll see later if I can say something. Ismaili Imam is the true Imam. He has the true Quran. And so, you're going to laugh at me, but His Highness Aga Khan the Fourth, his son, has come back. I have no evidence. I'm going to keep my mouth. So, they're telling me, and I want to go out. I don't want to say this. Just. So, he's my cousin. He loves beautiful women and what he did to me in my childhood. So I had a bit of a kind of a thing with Paramahamsa Vishwananda. You can wind me up and wind Zulfikar up. Zulfikar means that sword of Imam Ali and Prophet Muhammad must have killed Zainab bin Jash's first husband. But we're not allowed. I would have kept quiet long time ago. So there's reincarnation. Although the Ismailis now, I don't know, first they said that Imam Ali is like Krishna. I think it was an Ismaili website I went to. And no, then they said Imam Ali's Najul Balagha is like Krishna's Gita, Bhagavad Gita. And many things Imam Ali said were like Krishna, Sri Krishna. We'll see about that. And I'll talk later. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, especially with His Highness about, and then bring this terrible, shocking thing. It's like it has gotten me upside down again. It's not right. Don't. Sorry, this was a message. I'm not going to say this. Sorry, it was a notification message. So, no, I'm not going to say that. So the whole religion has fallen on my head. I mean, the sky has fallen on my head. You know, so I can't speak right now. I think I'm going to. So the Shias. No, I cannot say. Why did you lie to us?